Hello and welcome. My name is Hayley and this is Divinity Tarot and Tea. I'm going to be having a cup of tea as we go because tarot and tea go so well together. So grab yourself a hot drink and join me as we spill the tea together on your current love situation. So let's get started. And so first of all, I'm going to be using the Spirit of the Animal Oracle by Joy Bergman. And in the first position is your person's current energy as it stands today on the situation between the two of you. And we have the Loon, intuitive. Listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. And so I feel like collectively, Divine Masculine has been pulling himself away from what he was doing in the 3D. So before they started coming into their awakening, they were drowning in, things of the material world, things of the root chakra. So, hours and hours of manual labor every day and tasks and chores and, they had a lot of obligations and responsibilities. And I feel like collectively, Divine Masculine is now pulling himself away from that energy and just coming into a real relaxed attitude, spending time in nature, spending time alone, wanting to spend a lot of time alone, being that hermit energy, and just spending time just thinking about, what it is that they want. And just having that time alone to be in that healing, cleansing energy. So in the position next to that is any messages from Spirit around that or any blockages or obstacles. And we have the butterfly, rebirth. You can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. So again, I feel this is collectively Divine Masculine has really changed, come into this softer, more vulnerable energy that we've never seen in them before. And it's because you've opened their heart chakra, collectively Divine Feminine. And the people around them are noticing this change. And, for some people it could be triggering, particularly if they're around karmics in their current situation. It could be very triggering for them to see this immense change because they will be clearing old energy, old ways, old karmic cycles from their life. They probably were depended on to be the hard-working worker drone type person and, the one that was always responsible and dependable. And now, to them, it looks like they're slacking off, but they're not slacking off. They're just taking that time for self-love, self-care, and, letting some other people take the load for once. Because it always has been them, and that was unfair anyway. And so the card in the centre is the mutual energy between the two of you. And we have the Heron. Patience. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. And so I feel like you could be in little to no communication with your Divine Masculine at the moment. And this is mutually needed. The energy of being in that hermit mode, time to regather yourself, time to recalibrate, is needed for both of you. And that's why it's in the mutual energy there. So in the position next to that is your current energy. And we have penguin, authentic. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. And I've had that song that they play in the Jeep advert in my head for a while, that don't hold back. And that's what I'm feeling with this card. It's Spirit saying don't hold back, be your authentic self, and you know, your tribe will come to you because of it. And you know, if people don't like your authentic self, then they're not meant to be with you. And those are cycles that you need to close out. So in the final position here is any messages to you from Spirit or any blockages and obstacles. And we have the sea otter, happiness. Be the master of playful living. Release expectations and enjoy every day. Let worry go and instead choose love. Surrender to the waves. Your good destiny of love is sure. And so this is telling me, Divine Feminine, that you are needing to surrender in order to allow that union, the inner union, to happen first, and then the union on the 3D with your Divine Masculine. And so what does surrender mean? A lot of people get confused about that word. And, you know, for some people it even triggers them. I remember when I first heard it, I got triggered. I thought, I can't let them go. I can't stop thinking about them because, you know, I was thinking about them 24/7. How could I possibly stop thinking about them? And it was causing a lot of anxiety in me just thinking of the concept of letting go. But then somewhere along my journey, I realized that surrender doesn't mean detach. And so you and your Divine Masculine are one. So the duality is the illusion. You never were two, you were always one. And in so being, you can't detach from yourself. How can you detach from yourself? You can't. And so Spirit is not asking you to detach from, you know, the other part of your soul. Spirit is asking you to allow, to accept, to be grateful for, and, you know, without any control, without any fear, being in that love frequency instead of the fear frequency, just being like a bubble floating along, just allowing it to happen, or a dandelion seed on the current of the wind, taken wherever the Divine wants it to go. Because your soul wrote this life for you before you incarnated, and you agreed to this particular path. And I call that path 0. That's the original path written by soul. And soul is not malicious. Soul cannot do anything out of spite or being negative. Soul only has your highest, greatest good in mind. And so when we try to interfere with our path by trying to control it, manipulate it, even just on the energy plane, So getting anxious and trying to draw your divine masculine into you by thinking about them all the time and, you know, willing them in, manifesting them. When you do that, you're actually altering path 0. So you could move yourself onto a slightly different timeline by doing that. And you might not get the outcome of the union. And so to get back onto path 0, you need to not interfere with it at all. And that's being in that surrendered flow. And that's why. See, I never understood for the longest time why Divine Feminine had to surrender. Until it came to me in an epiphany one day. Why? Because if you're not surrendered, you are interfering with path 0. And path 0 is the path of which you have union with Divine Masculine. So I hope that makes sense to you, because it really brought me a lot of comfort, that deeper understanding of it, why we have to go into surrender. Because, you know, with twin flames, you hear it all over the internet. But, you know, you don't really understand that. They don't explain why. They just tell you to surrender, but not why. And there's also a lot of misinformation out there. So I'm going to be using the Gilded Tarot today. And we'll get some further clarity here. So why the Loon for your person? They're in that solitude energy. And we have the 9 of Swords in reverse. And so this is tending to their wounds. I feel like they've been through some deep healing in which things were brought to the surface. But now they're getting out in nature and, you know, tending to those wounds, processing them. And while they're processing those old traumas, those old wounds, and not just personal wounds, but collective wounds of the Divine Masculine, they need some time alone to do that. It's like the chrysalis phase, the cocoon, so that they can emerge as the butterfly. And we will look closer at that one now. Why the butterfly for your person? And we have the Page of Swords in the reverse position. And we also have the Knight of Swords came out as well. And so I feel like, you know, they've spent a lot of time in their head, a lot of time thinking about the situation and not really doing anything about it. Just procrastinating, sitting on the fence, not making any decisions. But now they're actually doing something about it. They're coming into action. And so it might not look like they're doing much because they're alone, they're in stillness. But spiritually, they're doing everything. They're healing that wounded masculine on the collective. And, you know, we all know that the masculine is wounded, just as the feminine is collectively. And this is helping to repair that on a global level. You see, we're all connected. We're all one conscious. And that's why I'm able to do these collective readings, is because, you know, twin flames, they come in waves. You know, this particular wave of people that had their soul recognition recently in the last couple of years, you know, this is what we're talking about now, not the ones that have already come into union and that. So yeah, they come in waves and they're all sort of on the same frequency. That's why we can get a read. So why the Heron for both of you? And that's that Hermit energy again. And you wouldn't believe it, we have the Hermit come out here to confirm that for me. The Hermit in reverse. And so, yeah, what looks like you're doing nothing, you know, just, there could be bed rotting or something like that. It might look like they're doing absolutely nothing. It might look like they're not being productive. And to the karmic people that were in their life, it probably looks to them like they're doing nothing. They're being lazy because they're used to them being that really productive person. Yeah, and it could be really triggering for them because it looks like they're doing nothing, but spiritually they're doing everything. And the same goes for you. I feel like you've been in that hermit phase for quite a while, but you're coming out of it. And just forgive my dog, she's just licking herself at the moment. It's driving me crazy. She's just licking her leg because she's coming out of shedding and she's all itchy. Right, so why the Penguin for you? This, you know, go your own way energy, being yourself, being authentic. We have the World, and that's, she's wearing a mask in this particular picture, and, you know, I feel like that's what society does. In society, everyone wears a mask. And, you know, you're expected to act a certain way. You're expected to conform. You're expected to dress a certain way, behave a certain way, do certain things. But, you know, that's all just a play. It's not real. And to be your real, authentic self, you need to take off that mask, take off that costume, and that triggers people as well. They want you to conform. They want you to be like them, and it confronts them to see that you have the courage to do things, you know, that you don't care what others would think or say, because they could never have the courage to do that. So we'll look at the Sea Otter. We'll clarify that card here. And that's that surrendered energy. We have the Knight of Swords. The Two of Pentacles in reverse. And the Wheel of Fortune. And so I feel like you were trying to control the situation. You were trying to take charge of it, trying to be forceful and control it. But Spirit is saying to you to let that go. You know, drop the ball on this. This is not in your hands. See how the pentacle is falling out of his hands? And to let go and give that to destiny, give it to fate, give it to the Wheel of Fortune. Have trust in the divine. So that's what that's saying there. So I'm going to get out a couple of clarifying love situation cards. I love these cards. They're all nice and bright and have really beautiful explanations on them. So we have Sweet Symphony. Harmonise the notes of both passion and devotion, unity, rhythm, peace. and I feel like that goes in the middle there. And that's that symphony of the energy that's between you, that flow. Instead of, instead of thinking it like a rock band with, drums and heavy guitar and bass, think of this more like a sweet symphony, classical music. See, I used to be into heavy metal. My favourite band was Iron Maiden, and I went to their concerts and everything. But then since my awakening and my frequency shift, my favourite music now is classical music, and you will have noticed that at the start of this reading, because I resonate with the frequency now. And I understand it on that level, is that, I resonated with the frequency of heavy metal before because I was in that traumatic, heavy, dense energy. But now I'm in that higher, lighter, softer energy, that softer frequency. And I really resonate with classical music now. And, I go to the ballet and the opera and theatre, and I just resonate with all of those things so deeply now because I'm on a higher vibration, and I just understand it at a deeper level now. And so we have beloved wisdom. Love is a choice you make every day, so choose wisely, conscious, aware, renew. And, you do have choices here. You have choices to go in and do the healing like Divine Masculine is doing collectively. And you have the choice to be your authentic self, and you have the choice to be in surrender and flow and allow this to happen. These are all choices that we make. And it's about resonating with that higher frequency, feeling the higher soul frequency and resonating with that, and that'll show you which way to go. That's that wisdom of the owl. Unlock truths. Find middle ground that creates win-win situations, in sync, balance together. And, this is a key with the heart. And I feel like this is not just unlocking your heart and unlocking the secrets to union, but this is also unlocking the mysteries of the world, the mysteries of ourselves, the mysteries of things that are so much deeper as we go through this journey. And so it's a win-win for everyone all around. And so I'm going to leave that reading there, and I'll finish up with a tea leaf reading. And so we'll look into the cup, and already I can see a love heart, and that's that love energy, that not just love for each other, but love for self, taking time to take care of yourself, heal yourself, but also healing the world collectively, and, raising that collective conscience and vibration. And I can also see an owl in flight. And that's that deeper wisdom that you're connecting into by listening to that higher soul frequency. And the owl looks like it's dropping something out of its claws. And so I feel like it's the wisdom is in letting go of that control, and giving to divine to get back onto your original path. And that's where your abundance will come in. So I hope you enjoyed that reading today, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.